What is good, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the one and only NIO stock and break down what on earth is going on with the share price. I'm also going to be talking about why on earth I'm incredibly bullish for the next few weeks for NIO, and also what's going on with the options chain. That's a very, very, very bullish sign for next week. I'm also going to be talking about what's going on with NIO's Twitter page, as they have tweeted some very bullish pieces of news. As the EV market continues to grow, it will help NIO. Now, before I break any of this down, before I talk about why I'm so bullish for the long-term future of this company, I do have to mention a couple of things real quick. The first thing is I'm not a financial planner, so please don't take this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, but benefits the entire NIO community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the WeBull link down below and in the description. If you sign up for WeBull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you are guaranteed 6 free stocks, each worth up to $2,000. And you could always sell these 6 free stocks for cash and use that cash to buy some NIO shares for free in this limited time offer that ends in just 2 weeks. So please check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So looking at NIO, this thing's looking pretty darn good. Up 3.37%, and we are respecting an upward trend officially. Now, why do we say this? Why do I know? Because when you look at the lows, okay? Look at the lows. NIO its low was at $11 at one point. Then we pushed up. Then we dropped again, right? We got a nice temporary cool off. Check this out. The next low is now $14. So we're respecting this upward trend. And that's a very, very good sign for NIO. If you look at the way this trend looks, from like right here, which is where our previous bottom was, we're starting to push up in this direction for the next few weeks, in my opinion. And I do think it's going to really, really, really help the share price start to soar as time progresses. And I wouldn't be surprised if NIO starts trading closer to the $20 range relatively soon. Now, that may sound crazy, but once you see this, it's going to make a lot of sense. Now, the first thing I want to talk about, though, is the SPY. Check this out on the SPY. The SPY was dropping pretty darn hard over the last couple of weeks. And all of a sudden, we got a nice bounce. We have a gap at $427, so it's very possible we fill this gap that's like right here. I do think that's going to happen, and the SPY looks very strong now. Excuse me. It's starting to push up. It really wants to, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw it just continuing to rally for the next couple of weeks, and I do think it's going to carry NIO with it. But it's not just the SPY, it's also the NASDAQ. We're seeing similar moves. I mentioned it breaking past 12,000 a couple of days ago, and that is what we're seeing. Now, the next key gap for the NASDAQ would be closer to that 12,899, maybe 12,900 range. I do think the NASDAQ is headed in that direction, and I do think it's another very bullish catalyst for the entire market that's collectively moving, and it's going to push NIO up with it too. So what's going on with NIO? You can see right here, NIO has these gaps, okay? One key gap is at 1793. I think we're easily going to soar past that. The next key gap, let me see where it is. It's going to be in around that almost $20 range. So 19.76 to be more precise, but almost $20. There's also one all the way up here at 22, and I do think it's possible for NIO to actually make it that high. We are kind of forming this inverse head and shoulders. So I wouldn't be surprised if NIO starts pushing back to the 20s within the next 2 weeks. Why am I so bullish? Well, let's talk about something big that happened. Look at the options chain. I could actually view all dates just to show you more meticulous numbers. When you look at the data, 66,000 calls in the money. That's the most we're seeing in the future. It's the most we've seen in a long time. And that's a very, very good sign. Max pain was $15. NIO closed above that for the first time in weeks. It goes to show this thing is getting ready to push. It really wants to push. And there might be some gamma that pushes the share price up too. So the market makers that are essentially kind of involved in these transactions, they have to hedge their positions. And I do believe they're going to start buying back a lot of these NIO shares. It's going to push the share price up, in my opinion. Now, I do think NIO is set for a potential mini gamma squeeze. I don't think it's going to be massive. I'm not saying we're going back to the 40s, 50s, or all-time highs. I'm saying that I do think it's going to push us up maybe a good 50% at the most, maybe something like that. And that's a pretty good move that NIO is making. I do think NIO should hit the 20s relatively soon. Another big piece of news is this right here. NIO is recruiting more positions to potentially build a U.S. manufacturing plant. Now, I don't know if that's entirely true, but the truth about what I read in this article is the fact that they are hiring new positions, and many people appear to be thinking that they have offices in San Jose, which is a city in California, but they do appear to be ready to expand to the US in the upcoming years, perhaps within, I don't know, a couple of years. So with that said, there is a lot of talk about them potentially opening a manufacturing plant in the US. It's possible. Is it guaranteed? No, it's not confirmed yet, but it still is a possibility, and it is something to keep in our minds because this could end up coming one day. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is this right here. When it comes to the EV market, the more imaginative retail experience includes understanding how the buyer can benefit from owning an EV, from learning about EVs and environmental impacts to overall comfort and tech. So that's very, very great pieces of news you have to understand. The EV market is growing and growing and growing, and NIO is early. It's still early. Okay, if you buy into NIO, you're early in the game. It's going to grow for the next decade. So that's one of the many reasons as to why I'm so bullish. Let's look at some other technical indicators out there. Look at this. We got a nice flip from the MACD 9-day moving average just today alone. Look at this nice flip. Got this nice push up from the RSI. You look at the EMAs, that beautiful, absolutely beautiful 1348 EMA crossover right here. It's a little hard to see since I have my support and resistance levels, but if I close this, so what we're essentially seeing is a really, really nice push from NIO. It really wants to move in this upward direction, and we've been oversold on the RSI for quite a bit of time. We got this nice 1348 EMA crossover, right? And it really wants to push up. You can see this. This is a very bullish indicator, and we're starting to see these nice moves right back up. If you don't believe me, go back here. Let's just go back to what this data suggests. So right here, right off the bat, you could see we had the 1348 EMA crossover. NIO pushed all the way up to about $17.6. And then now we're seeing it again. But on top of that, we have the SPY pushing up. We have a bullish market that's perpetuating, in my opinion. I see a temporary relief rally. And I do think NIO is going to actually slowly stair-step its way up to the $18 level relatively soon. And then higher than that, up to the maybe low 20s, maybe even higher than that. But it's looking really good. Give it the time it needs, and things are going to be a-okay. With that out of the way, I just wanted to say I thank each and every one of you if you watch these videos. I have made price predictions in the past. I am not always going to be correct, and I apologize for that. But I'm also here to do analysis and let you know that I am incredibly bullish. Many technical indicators suggest that we are starting this upward trend, and that is essentially what the data is suggesting. So with that out of the way, thank you for listening. Please have a great rest of the day, and I will most definitely see you guys in the next one. NIO to the moon, and peace out.